Donald Trump recently met with Volodymyr Zelensky from Ukraine and proved to the American people yet again that he is a malignant narcissist man-baby that only cares about himself. Now, I don't blame Zelensky for coming over to America and meeting with leaders from both parties because he is here in the interest of Ukraine and Ukrainian people. These are the types of meetings that Zelensky needs to be having to look out for the well-being of his people. So I do not fault Zelensky for taking this meeting with Trump, also doing meetings with Kamala Harris and the Democrats, because this is what a leader of a country should do when he's in wartime. He should be talking to his allies and making the necessary arrangements to keep that allyship strong. But instead of focusing on the actual conflict between Russia and Ukraine, Donald Trump wanted to make this little presser all about himself. And I think that this is absolutely disgusting behavior. Donald Trump doesn't act right all of the time, but I think this was a new low for Donald Trump. So let's go ahead and take a look at this little press event that they held right before their meeting and break down exactly what happened there.
What are your expectations from this meeting? What do you expect to hear from Mr.
Nothing. Look, this is a meeting, and we have a big race going on right now. I guess 37 days left, and we're leading in the polls, and so we'll see how it all works out. Hopefully.
First of all, Donald Trump does not need to be talking about the polls. It doesn't matter. Zelensky is here to talk about the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, where Russia, the aggressor, invaded a sovereign country, an ally of the United States. Why is Donald Trump even bringing up the polls and how he's leading in all the polls? Pathetic.
It'll work out, but if it does, we're going to work very much with both parties to try and get this settled and get it worked out. It has to end at some point. It has to end. He's gone through hell, and his country has gone through hell like few countries have ever, like it's happened anywhere. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's a terrible situation. And I will say I have had a great relationship. It was very honorable. I don't even know if you know this, but when they did the impeachment hoax, it was a hoax, just a Democrat hoax, which we won. But one of the reasons we won it so easily is that when the president was asked, it was over a phone call with the president, and he said he could have grandstanded and played cute, but he didn't do that. He said President Trump did absolutely nothing wrong.
Why is Trump trying to relitigate the whole first impeachment during this meeting? This makes absolutely no sense. This is why people call Donald Trump a self-serving, malignant narcissist. Because it's all about him. It's all about him. Not to mention, the first impeachment was not a hoax. Donald Trump called up Zelensky and tried to pressure him into opening an investigation or a fake investigation into Donald Trump's main political rival, Joe Biden. This was not a hoax. This is something that happened. This is something that Trump did. So for him to just try to relitigate this on the spot right here is absolutely shameful.
He said it loud and clear, and the impeachment hoax died right there. He could have said, well, I don't know, I don't know. And I never even told you this, to be honest, but he was like a piece of steel. He said President Trump did nothing wrong.
Poor Zelensky. I mean, look at him. Having to sit there and be embarrassed in front of the world yet again by Donald Trump. The body language is all off. He looks uncomfortable. Donald Trump is stooping over and low energy. It's just an embarrassment. How do people look at this guy and say, oh yeah, this is what real leadership looks like? When he is only talking about himself, he's not addressing any of the concerns that people have about Ukraine, and the ongoing aid that we will likely be involved in. No, it's all about Trump. It's always all about Trump. This pathetic little man baby.
We had a very nice call. He congratulated me on his victory. He just won. I remember that. He could have played cute, and he didn't play cute. And so I appreciated that. So we have a very good relationship. And I also have a very good relationship, as you know, with President Putin. And I think if we win, I think we're going to get it resolved very quickly.
For Donald Trump to be putting Zelensky and Putin right on the same playing field, on the same level, is gross. Putin is an authoritarian. He's a dictator of Russia. He was the one who invaded a sovereign country in Ukraine and is kidnapping children, mass murdering Ukrainians. And he wants to talk about how he has great relationships with both of these people. This is not what leadership looks like. And this is not what being a good ally looks like.
I really think we're going to get it.
I hope we have more good relations.
We're going to have. Oh, I see. Yeah, but you know, it takes two to tango. You know.
It takes two to tango, Donald? Really? When Zelensky calls out and says, hey, our relationship should be more important than your relationship with Putin, all you can say is, it takes two to tango? What is this nonsense? I am so disturbed by all of this, but let's keep going.
And we will, we're going to have a good meeting today. And I think the fact that we're even together today is a very good sign. And hopefully we'll have a good victory, because the other side wins. I don't think you're going to have victories with anything, to be honest with you. So,
just to make it clear, it's the Democrats who have stood strong with Ukraine. It's the Democrats who have been leading the charge on making sure that the necessary aid is provided to Ukraine. It's not Democrats that are cozying up to Putin. It's not Democrats that are siding with Russia and saying that, Russia should just be able to have what they've taken so far just so this peace deal can be made. It's Democrats that have been standing strong as a good ally to the Ukrainian people. And this behavior right here from Donald Trump is anything but being a strong ally. This is just gross.
we're going to sit down, just discuss it, and if we have a win, I think long before January 20th, before I would take the presidency, it's January 20th, but long before that, I think that we can work out something that's good for both sides. It's
just to think about what he's saying here. He's saying, only if I win can we work out a good deal. And it'll happen before I even become president. What is that? If Donald Trump has these magical peacemaking abilities, why isn't he involving himself now in that process? This is just more self-serving garbage from Donald Trump. He doesn't have any special powers or special leverage that he can hold over Putin, nor would he want to, as it seems to me. But this is just more inflated ego talk from Donald Trump saying that I'm the only one that can fix it, and only if I win will something ever happen.
It's time. And by the way, the president knows that too. He wants to get something done. He doesn't want to do this. And so we look forward to having them in. I look forward to being with him. But what I said is true. He was a piece of steel. He gave a very honest, straight answer, and that it really essentially ended the impeachment hoax. And I appreciated that. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Brett.
Absolutely embarrassing. I feel bad for Zelensky for having to stand there and being embarrassed by Donald Trump yet again. How much time was even spent to even talking about the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine? 75% of this conversation was about how Donald Trump did nothing wrong and the first impeachment was a hoax. This is all self-serving nonsense from Donald Trump. The malignant narcissist can only talk and think about himself. He has no understanding of what is actually going on between Russia and Ukraine. He has seemingly no understanding that Russia is the aggressor here and that this is Ukraine's righteous war against the authoritarian aggressor, and that the United States should be standing strong with our allies to make sure that this authoritarianism doesn't spread, and to make sure that they aren't allowed to just go knocking down barriers and taking land from neighboring countries. But Donald Trump has no understanding of any of that. This is why you see time and time again national security experts coming out and endorsing Kamala Harris. Because Donald Trump knows nothing about these things. He doesn't want to know anything about these things. He has no curiosity. And he will be a threat to not only our security, but to our allies' security as well. At this point, it looks like he's just going to roll over and give Putin whatever he wants. That is why Donald Trump cannot become the next commander-in-chief. I saw this press conference and I just couldn't even believe what I was seeing, because I was so disgusted by all of this self-serving behavior, yet again, from Donald Trump. But I'll leave it there. I want to know what you guys think. Is Donald Trump going to be the staunch ally that Ukraine needs as they fight this war of aggression against Ukraine? Or against Russia, sorry? Or is it somebody like Kamala Harris who is going to stand up and be a stronger ally and make sure that we are right there with Ukraine every step of the way? If you got anything out of this video, please do remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. Trying to make it to that 1,000 subscriber mark before the end of the year, so I would very much appreciate your support. If you want to see how the cognitive dissonance is ever so present in MAGA supporters, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.